Hello everyone, I participated in the Bath and Body Works sale of I think it was $5.95, and I picked up the milk and the Rich Espresso. There's no X there. And I have a lot to say. So first off, the milk fragrance smells exactly like milk. It really does give off a very lactonic, gourmand sort of scent. I think it is a very polarizing scent because you might absolutely hate it or you might absolutely love it depending on how you like your fragrances. So milk has notes of, give me 1 second here, sugared oats and whipped milk. And when I first spritzed this on my arm, when I first tried it, it's very much like grabbing a gallon of milk, cold gallon of milk fresh from the store, popping the cap and putting your nose right to the opening. It smells just like milk. And I think this is great for people that want to layer and maybe give their fragrances a little more lactonic scent, a little more lactonic feel like a, maybe if you have like a gourmand, this might work I think really well with the marshmallow pumpkin latte. Maybe if you want to give it more of a kind of a steamed, cozy, at the same time a cool milk sort of note. If you want to bring in a more lactonic note onto things that are already lactonic scented, or maybe they just need a little bit of a boost, or maybe you want to add a lactonic note to your pre-existing fragrance, if you want to layer it with that. So I think it would go really well with maybe, like I said, marshmallow pumpkin latte. Oh, excuse me. Or maybe there's that other coffee fragrance that Bath and Body Works released. I think it was Midnight Amber Glow. So if you want to give that like a little more like a milky note, I think that's perfect. I tried wearing it on its own today. I spritzed it on one arm by itself, and then I did the same thing with Rich Espresso. I spritzed it on my other arm, and on one of the tops of my hands I put both combined. So I actually went ahead and I layered one and the other, and I'll tell you how that experience went right now. But if you want to wear milk on your own, it can also be worn on its own, and I think it's more of a bedtime fragrance. It's very soft, very close to the skin. It doesn't really project a whole lot, but it is a very cozy type of fragrance, like the type of fragrance that you would wear maybe like on a rainy day, rainy evening, when you're just there with like a book or something, or I don't know, just cuddling up and maybe watching, some late night TV or something, or some TV or a movie or something. So it's a very cozy lactonic fragrance. I really like it. I don't think I would be actually wearing this on its own though. I think I'm going to be using it mainly for layering with other scents, just for fun, just to experiment with adding a milk note to my pre-existing scents. And with Rich Espresso, this is a very interesting fragrance because it actually has a little bit more depth than the milk fragrance. Rich Espresso has, let my camera focus here, notes of dark roast coffee and hazelnut froth. It's a very rich scent. It's a rich scent. I actually pick up maybe a little bit, I don't pick up hazelnut, but I do pick up maybe like some spice there, maybe perhaps like a cinnamon with coffee note. It's stronger than the milk fragrance, that's for sure. It's a little tiny bit more projecting. I want to say if milk projects a 1, Rich Espresso projects like maybe like a 5 or a 7. It projects a little bit more. And I really like it. It almost smells like it's meant more for a man. It's a masculine scent, and the reason for it is because there are scents that I've smelled before that are geared towards men, and they have that scent of a spiced coffee. You almost don't really pick up the coffee after a while, and you mainly pick up like cinnamon. I swear I smell cinnamon in this, but there is no cinnamon. It is just the dark roast coffee and the hazelnut. So what I did today is that I combined the two. I said I spritzed milk on one arm and then Rich Espresso on my other arm, and then I combined the two on the top of one of my hands. And it's very nice. These two go great together. It is like exactly that. It's like a rich espresso with frothy milk. It's very nice to combine together. This actually reminds me of Starbucks. Like when you go to Starbucks, like on a winter day or a rainy day, or when the weather is cold, and you go and you pick up a coffee, right? Or you walk into a Starbucks and there is, like the barista making drinks, and you get like this, you get hit with this coffee train, or like this big old coffee scent that just wafts, and like it sort of lingers in the air, and you can smell the steam coming off of the milk frothers and the espresso machines and whatnot. It really does smell like you just walked out of a coffee shop, or like you walked into a coffee shop, a Starbucks. This, for whatever reason, it actually brings back a memory of me being a kid and going into a Barnes and Noble. I don't know if there are still Starbucks inside of the Barnes and Noble stores, but when I was a kid, there was always a Starbucks at the Barnes and Noble area. And I think of books. I think of people, just busy people doing maybe research papers or reading a newspaper, with a coffee and a cake or a sweet snack, sipping on an espresso like on a cold day, or just like the evening. So these are two very comforting scents. They go great together. One complements the other. I almost feel like Bath and Body Works did this on purpose, where they, instead of just combining these two in a bottle and calling it a fragrance, they said, you know what? Let's give them milk. Let's give them the rich espresso, and then there was also the coconut and the honeycomb. Those two, I guess, really don't really go, but like I said, the milk you can combine with all kinds of gourmands. The rich espresso, I think, same thing. Like if you want to wear it with marshmallow pumpkin latte to bring out or to highlight that coffee scent, that or that latte note, that it has that creamy latte note. If you think that it doesn't smell enough like a coffee, try pairing it with rich espresso. If you think it needs a little bit of a kick into the whole marshmallow like tonic scent, then pair it up with milk. These two are very versatile scents. They go really, really well together. I think that these are meant for layering with each other, but as well with other fragrances. So I just cut the video a little bit because I wanted to get the other fragrances that I thought this would go well with, that these two would go well with. So there's the one that I've been talking a lot about, is the marshmallow pumpkin latte. So sorry. And I don't know, maybe this one too. Maybe the pumpkin cupcake. Like if you guys want to pair up your milk and your rich espresso with any of these two, I think it would be a good idea. Specifically, I would mix the milk or the rich espresso with the marshmallow pumpkin latte. So this would pair, in my opinion, great with either one of these two. And the pumpkin cupcake, probably with the milk, because it is a cupcake. And as far as I know, there are no coffee scents, but there is buttercream and the vanilla cake batter. And I think that if you mix that with the milk, it might actually smell really nice, very gourmand. And or also maybe perhaps even joy. So you have like the sugared snickerdoodle. And let me see, I don't actually remember what's in here. Creamy vanilla and snickerdoodle spice and sugared musk. I don't know. I would just try this once again with the milk. You have like the whole milk and cookies combo, maybe for Christmas. Or, maybe on a day you just want to smell like a baked good or a dessert or something like that. So I would try to combine it with that. And of course, there is also, different types of fragrances that they contain coffee notes or like tonic milk notes that you can combine these with. I also saw other scents today. I smelled Bookloft, and in terms of Bookloft and that scent being a thing, in my opinion, I think Bookloft really smelled like musk. It is the same thing, in my opinion, the same exact thing. It just has different packaging. To me, it smells exactly the same. I smelled it in the spray and in the body wash. I don't know if they contain the same notes. I don't remember. I'll look them up in a little bit. But this has musk, mimosa flower, and rice milk. And to me, that's what Bookloft smelled like. And I smelled other ones too. I smelled the champagne apple and honey. And I smelled... Hey, what else did I smell? Something seasonal. I think the other ones that were part of the vanillas, but I don't really quite remember too much about that. So this is all I have to say for now, and I hope that everybody's having a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.